Zionist Jews are the worst. That's what they say. Zionist Jews, like myself, are accused of being genocidal, racist, apartheid-enforcing monsters. We are blamed for every evil under the sun, from ethnic cleansing to global conspiracies. So naturally, you would expect Zionist Jews to be committing all sorts of heinous acts around the world, right? Well, let's take a little global tour and see if that stereotype actually matches reality. Let's start in France, home to one of the largest Jewish and Zionist communities in Europe. France has suffered dozens of deadly terrorist attacks in recent decades. A truck driving into a Christmas market, a teacher beheaded, journalists at Charlie Hebdo slaughtered, concert goers massacred at the Bataclan. So, how many of these horrific attacks were carried out by Zionist Jews? None. Zero. All of these were committed by Islamists. In 2023, when a Muslim criminal was shot by police in Paris, riots broke out. Cities burned for days. But when Ilan Halimi, a young Jewish man, was kidnapped, tortured for weeks, and murdered by a Muslim gang, did the Jewish community loot stores? Did they burn Paris down? No. They mourned, they demanded justice. That's it. And Ilan Halimi wasn't the only Jewish victim. Miri Knoll, a Holocaust survivor, was stabbed and burned alive in her home. Sarah Halimi was thrown off a balcony by a man screaming Allahu Akbar. Both were murdered by Muslims. Meanwhile, I challenge you to find even one case where Jews, Zionists, murdered Muslims in France. You won't. But maybe France is just a special case. Maybe the anger there is about France's colonial history. Let's keep going. Germany, with its horrific history towards Jews, tried to show tolerance after the Syrian civil war. While many Arab countries refused to accept refugees, Germany opened its doors. Now, logically, who would feel more resentment? The Jews who survived genocide or the Muslim refugees welcomed into safety? Yet, if you check the names behind recent terror attacks in Germany, they aren't Chaim or Yitzhak, they are Muhammad and Ahmad. In neighboring Austria, the same story. Just a few months ago, a Syrian refugee murdered 4 people and then sat down on a bench, smiling. The terrorist was inspired by ISIS, not the IDF, the Israeli army. France and Germany are big countries. Everyone has an opinion about them. Let's see what is going on in Denmark. What have the so-called evil Zionist Jews done to Denmark, the land of cozy hygge, Lego, and butter cookies? Nothing. But according to Danish government statistics, 65% of asylum seekers have criminal records. That's not an accusation, that's straight from their national crime database. In the UK, Jews committed 0 terror attacks. Almost all of the terror attacks were committed by, well, you know, and it is starting to repeat itself. So here is something which I find relevant, as all forms of violence are connected. Muslims make up about 5% of the population, but nearly 25% of the prison population. Meanwhile, the number of Jewish inmates? Almost 0. Recently, it was revealed that a group of Muslims kidnapped a Jewish man in the UK. Can you remember a single case where Jews kidnapped a Muslim in Britain? Didn't think so. And speaking of violence, Sweden used to be one of the safest countries in the world, especially for women. Today, Swedish women walking down the streets are less safe than they were 50 years ago. What changed? Well, Sweden is a country suffering badly from a pandemic of political correctness. So I will put it in the most political correct way possible. The reason women in Sweden are less safe is because of men with an immigration background from North Africa and the Middle East but not from Israel. I believe that women's right to safety is more important than being politically correct, and that the truth matters, even if it doesn't fit the narrative. And by the way, the attacks against women during the New Year's celebration in Germany and the huge scandal now unfolding in the UK didn't involve Zionist Israelis, but mostly Pakistani Muslim men. Now let's cross the Atlantic. In the United States, when a pickup truck drives into a Christmas parade, who's driving? When planes hit the Twin Towers, who was piloting? Hint, it wasn't Zionist Jews. Meanwhile, in peaceful countries like Canada and Australia, countries with no connection to the Israeli-Arab conflict, synagogues are being vandalized. Jewish schools are attacked. Jews are being attacked. And yet, you will struggle to find a single example of Jews burning down mosques or attacking Muslims. In Australia, 2 Muslim healthcare workers were caught bragging about wanting to kill Jews.
I have a question. Let's say an Israeli,
I
God
won't treat
forbid,
them. I won't treat them. I'll kill them.
you'll kill them. So if an Israeli is in Australia and God forbid something happened to him, and he comes to your hospital,
To God.
would you kill him?
Okay, you have no idea how many Israeli Khara dog came to this hospital and I sent him to Jahannam.
For real?
Sent him to Jahannam.
Name me one Jewish doctor who bragged about killing Muslims. Go ahead. Let's put all the pieces together. Zionist Jews are not blowing up Christmas markets in France. Zionist Jews are not stabbing people in Germany. Zionist Jews are not kidnapping Muslims in the UK. Zionist Jews are not torching mosques in Australia. So maybe, just maybe, and I know this is a crazy theory, the group committing more violence in Israel is the same group committing more violence everywhere else. Disagree with me? Prove me wrong. I just talked about a handful of countries. Maybe in Belgium or the Netherlands or Spain, Zionist Jews are the real violent ones? If so, show me the numbers, show me the cases. I'm waiting in the comment section below. Maybe the real issue isn't Zionist Jews. Maybe the real issue is the endless attempts to demonize Jews while ignoring the actual patterns of violence happening around the world. Think about it, or share this video with people who need to think about it. My next videos will be about Israel's Memorial Day and Independence Day, and I'm starting a series of videos about the persecution of Jews in Muslim countries, in Morocco, Yemen, Egypt, Iraq, and Iran. There is this myth that until the rise of Zionism, Jews lived peacefully in Muslim countries. That, of course, is wrong. So please subscribe. I want to thank all my supporters. You keep me going. See you next week. Yalla bye.